So let's go ahead and jump right into the top 10 countdowns. And so first I'm going to be starting off with the best of 2018. And I'm not going to talk too long on this or whatever. I'm going to try and get through these as quick because I'm not going to make this a long podcast. So starting off with number 10 is Love, Simon. This is a movie that I didn't really have any expectations going into it. Went into it, absolutely loved it. By the end of the movie, I was pleasantly surprised of how much I enjoyed the movie. It had like relatable characters, likable characters. It had a lot of funny, awkward moments that were really good. It was like heartfelt. It was one of those movies where you go in and you just identify with just the main character and how he maneuvers through it, and just get how he is. You know, he's a gay kid who hasn't came out, but he's trying to figure out life of living this double life of everybody thinking he's straight, but he's not. And it's just the kind of like struggle that he's going through. And I truly love the movie. Number 9 is Tag. I'm not really a person that goes after comedies or, that just, really, those aren't really my type of movies. I'm more of an action horror type guy and all that stuff. But Tag was a movie that really intrigued me because of its premise and just it being an actual based off real life people in an actual game that they play. It was more of a bonus. But I love this movie. I truly loved it. It was so funny. It got me engaged throughout, like just from the beginning to the end. Like it starts off with a bang. Like it literally grabbed me from there, and just it was just funny as hell. Like it did its job as a comedy. I truly just love this film. It was one of the better comedies of last year. I wasn't taken by game night. This was an actual game like movie that I really enjoyed. And recently I've been seeing a lot of people watching it and really enjoying it too. So I'm happy for that. So that's why I had made it on my list. Number 8, surprisingly, what I was just talking about, Aquaman. Aquaman was a movie to where I had a lot of doubt going into like Aquaman. Like I say maybe almost a month going into it until I started hearing about the reviews for it and how everybody was saying it was good, it was outstanding. They got me a little bit hyped for it, and actually watching it and realizing that they just went all balls out. James Wan just went in there. He just did his thing, and Jason Momoa just had fun with the character. I enjoyed him in Justice League as Aquaman, and he just took it. He just had fun with it. Like everything that came out about this movie was just fun. That's basically what I got from this movie. And it was one of those movies where you just go in, you just have a good time, and that's basically what it was. Hits over $1 billion, more than what anybody would expect, more than any movie in the BVS universe, and I'm happy that it did it because it was a real good and enjoyable movie. After that, it is number 7, which is Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2, I enjoyed it way more than the first one. I did like the first one, but this one just took it there. Like the jokes, how they executed everything, the fighting, and just the action scenes were taken. Like the story, I'm not gonna give it away, but what motivated what is it, Wade Wilson, what motivated him to do what he was doing in the movie was perfect, and just how it ended was good. Like just this is another movie, another comic book movie where they just had fun with it, with the writing, the acting, and just everything that they did, and you could tell that they had fun, and I had fun with this movie. I was dying laughing and just cracking up by the end of it, and the 2 end credit scenes are just crazy as hell. Number 6 is Blindspotting, another movie I went into. Actually, I had expectations for it. I wanted to like it. I didn't think it was going to be good. But I ended up truly enjoying the hell out of this movie. This movie was deeper and it was better than what I even expected. It touched on certain things in society, certain real things that happens in society that a lot of people need to talk about and get out there and just try and solve a problem with it and everything else. And just the acting and just the chemistry between the main character and his best friend and how everything is working out. And it was a movie that I was surprised that I ended up really, really, really appreciating. And it was a movie, well, it's a movie that I think everybody should be looking for and trying to give a chance because it was really, really good. It's called Blindspotting. Check it out. Number 5, Ready Player One. Another movie that I didn't have too many high expectations for it, but I went into it and came out a believer. This movie I truly loved, from just the action scenes to just the dialogue, the actors, and the story and everything and how everything played out. Just the overall look, the visuals. This wasn't a movie where it's supposed to look realistic. This is a movie that it takes place in the gaming world, so you're dealing with a lot of gaming type styles and everything else. And I'm sure like a gamer would appreciate this movie a little bit more, but I truly appreciate it, especially with like a lot of the cameos from just other pop culture type things, from Chucky to Joker and Harley Quinn to Gundam, the Iron Giant. You got all these things, especially the scene of The Shining. I'm not going to give it away, especially if you haven't seen it, but that was one of my favorite scenes of the movie. If you haven't seen it, Ready Player One, definitely go check it out. Number 4, Black Panther. Just seen it again this year. The third time of me seeing it in theaters. I've seen it in theaters twice last year. This year I bumped it up after I saw it. I bumped it up. I did alter this one, but I bumped it up because I saw it again and I just truly loved it. From just the cultural significance that it has, especially what it touches on, from it being an all-black cast, director and writer and everything else, and and just everything that they did with it. Like, it was first and foremost a great comic book movie, and just it being a black superhero as well as a black cast with a black culture just surrounding it, black soundtrack with Kendrick Lamar hitting it, everything just blended together. Everything was explosive. It was funny. The action was good. Some of the CG was kind of but majority of the CG worked for it, and just the visuals and everything, the style of it, you just feel it. And as a black person, it makes you feel proud. Makes you feel like it gives you a sense of pride. Just looking at something like this and just not seeing it as just a black movie, but a great comic book movie, and not only that, a great movie period, with it winning Oscars at the Oscars, and I really did enjoy it, and it was one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. I don't know what number it is, but it is. Number 3, Green Book. I just put my review out for it on my channel. Just came out on on to stream on all that stuff. But it was a movie that is just simply about the characters. It was character driven. These two characters who have to be on the road for months at days, weeks, months at a time, and just them, two unlikely people who have two different backgrounds, two different personalities, end up clashing, but at the same time having this friendship with each other that you wouldn't think that they would. And they are two different races, a white guy and a black guy, at a time where it wasn't cool for black people or just a white person to be friends with a black person. And just how everything played out, and just the acting was so crazy good, and just how the movie was, the direction of it, and just it was somewhat kind of cookie cutter. Some kind of they took they didn't take it go hard with it, but at the same time it was a family type film, and that's what I got from it. and I just love that aspect of it. So, hey, I mean, I truly love this film. Number two, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This was a movie where I didn't know what to expect from it. I didn't think it was necessary when I first heard about it, but after seeing it, this movie was necessary. This was a necessary movie to have. The visuals, the style of just the animation, the story, the characters, and how everything blended together. I thought that having like multiple Spider-Men or Spider people in the movie besides Miles Morales would take the, kind of like everything off of that main character, and it didn't. It only boosted his character to where he needed to be, and I really enjoyed it. The bad guys were good. Everything surrounded around it, and just the voice acting, everything fit. The soundtrack to it is just as good, if not better, than Black Panther, which kind of like elevated just this movie to where higher standards, because it was just all around. It was a great movie, a great theater experience, and I truly, truly, truly love this film. And at number one, if you guys have not guessed it, you probably did. I seen it 9 times in theaters last year. Probably might, if they put it in theaters again, I probably might see it again this year. It is Avengers Infinity War. This was a movie culminating to one singular movie. I ain't gonna say it's the end all, but it was a villain that was built up through several movies, and it just came to a head where you got characters that wasn't in movies together that clashed, and just how it worked out, the balance of characters, the visuals, how Thanos looked. I mean, it was Oscar nominated for its visuals, and just the characters, how they clashed together and like just bounced off each other, the chemistry, whether they liked each other, didn't play well together, and just how that was. You can tell that they had lots of fun with this. Even though you can have fun with this movie and had its like light moments, it still was a dark movie at the end of the day. And if you haven't seen it, which a lot of you probably should have seen it by now, you already know by the end of it, it's not a happy ending. And yeah, that movie was it was good. I wish it would have been longer, but this is a movie where the experience, every time I think about it, it gives me chills. Just thinking about the first time that I saw it, and what was running through my mind, how my heart was beating, because I was so excited to see this movie, and I'm happy that I saw it. But before we get into the worst, let me name off my honorable mentions. I'm not going to get into it. I'm just going to name them off. But it's Bohemian Rhapsody, Instant Family, Mission Impossible Fallout, A Quiet Place, Gringo, and Overlord.